Yo, yo, what up, my peeps, and welcome back to another edition of John Ammo's Archives. Wasn't actually planning on making another video today, but in light of the Brett Favre situation, how can I not? I mean, I've made several posts about it in the past. I figure we got to wrap it up on the John Ammo Archive side of things, too, being that we kind of focus on the subject for a little while. So, Brett Favre goes to the New York Jets. What do I think about this move? I think about this move in two different ways. I think about this move in the perspective of the Jets, and I think about this move in the perspective of Brett Favre. One thing I will say before I get into that is that I, along with Packer Nation, along with NFL Nation, am certainly glad this whole saga is finally over. Now we can focus on football. And we could separate the men from the boys, and we could focus on training camps and injuries and starting position battles and stuff like that. We can get off the nonsense. But to the Brett Favre subject this last time, so we could wrap it up and then we can get on to the season. As far as the Jets go, I think it was a coup. It was a great signing for the New York Jets. Obviously, the New Jersey Jets, should I say. Great signing for the Jets. I mean, they instantly not only became a playoff contender, but they're going to, obviously sell a lot of merchandise and put a lot of fans in the seats. And, for the Jets organization, it is a big deal. They haven't won the AFC East for 5 or 6 years. And before that, it was 1998. And before that, it was like 1960 or something. So they only have like 3 AFC East titles in 40 years. It's their biggest signing since Joe Namath. So, big props to the Jets organization. Like it's a great signing. It's a big coup for them. Probably they're going to have to separate with a third or possibly a second round pick, depending on how good Brett Favre does. He'll definitely the fourth round stipulation is, to get a third-round pick, all he has to do is take 50% of the snaps the whole year. So they'll at least get a third-round pick out of the deal. If the Jets make the playoffs, they'll get a second-round pick. That's looking like the likely situation, but that's still 50-50, and I want to get into that in a second. But as far as the New Jersey Jets go, great signing. Instantly, overnight. If nothing else, at least you put some fans in the seats. And you gave the Jersey and the New York faithful something to look forward to during the season. So from the New York Jets' perspective, they did everything right. They did what they had to do. The whole entire season, everybody's worrying about like Chad Pennington and this other guy who's going to this C+ versus C+2 quarterbacks trying to battle it out. And who would have thought Brett Favre would have come in and swooped up the job from both of them? So now on to the perspective on Brett Favre's side. It is my personal opinion, and I'm going to get off Brett Favre's back. He ran himself out of Green Bay. He got what he deserved. I was a little bit mad at him for a while, but now that the storm is almost over, I could let it die. But I will say that Brett Favre will definitely regret this move going to the Jets. For him, I don't see anything in it for him. I see him going to a tough competitive AFC, an AFC which sent these 6 playoff teams to the playoffs last year. The Pats, the New England Patriots, we know they're not going to be switched up by the Jets. The Colts, they're still going to go. The Steelers are still going to go. The Chargers are still going to go. The Jaguars are still going to go. So the 6th spot was the Tennessee Titans. And they got to compete with that 6th spot with the Titans, the Browns, the Bengals, the Bills, the Chiefs, the Broncos, the Texans. I'm sure I'm missing a couple teams too. And it's like, it kind of, they a couple of announcers and writers wanted to compare it to Joe Montana going to the Jets, and it's like, to the Chiefs. It's like, he went to the Chiefs and he took them one game from the Super Bowl, but it wasn't the same. Everybody knew they weren't going to win that AFC title game, and it's like, I just worry that there's a good possibility that the Jets were 4-12 last year, and I know they picked up some significant offensive linemen, and they did a little bit of work during the offseason. But that doesn't mean that Brett Favre, that could still mean an 8-8 team. So now he's got to face the pressure of the AFC, and the AFC is a lot more competitive than the NFC. And I just don't think that Brett Favre really thought this decision all the way through. He wanted to go to a playoff contender this whole time. Instead, he managed to get himself on a 4-12 football team. Yes, they could still be a playoff team with him, but I mean, out of that whole, Pats, Colts, Steelers, Jags, Chargers, Browns, Bengals, I mean, there's a lot of teams out there that Brett Favre's got to be aware of. I mean, he's not even the best quarterback in his division anymore. And not only that, but his team will never win the division, obviously, because of the New England Patriots. So, I just question Brett Favre's motivation, and maybe it would have been I think if he would have leveraged a trade to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I think he would have been a lot better off. I think he would have fit into John Gruden's offense a lot better. They played together before. I think that the NFC is significantly less competitive than the AFC. So, I just wonder the first time he faces that New England Patriot defense and the Pittsburgh Steelers defense and Shawnee Merriman. I think it's going to be a really, really long year for Brett Favre. That's just my personal opinion. But again, great move for the Jets. They instantly became a playoff possibility. Really quickly, I am a little concerned now about the Shawn Andrews situation regarding the Philly Eagles. I don't know what this guy's deal is. I've been keeping tabs on the situation. I figured he'd be back in training camp now. This is not some kind of a money holdout situation. This guy is having some kind of personal problems. He's under some kind of depression, and he's the best right guard in the National Football League, I think, and we need him back on our squad. So, Shawn Andrews, man, wake up, get your ass in gear. You're a National Football League player. Start acting like it. So, again, ladies and gentlemen, I didn't want to make a blog today, a football blog today. I just felt compelled to because of the whole Brett Favre situation. Let's put it to rest. Let's put it to bed. Hey, Brett, I said what I had to say about you. You're a drama queen. You did it. You retired 15 times, so I think you deserved what you got. But you do what you got to do this season. We'll see where you go. I don't think it's going to be that pleasant for you, but maybe I'm wrong. We'll see. My opinions, John Ammo, The Archives. I'm out.